MJ with Oakwood Veneer. In today's segment, we're going to talk about using a more traditional method of applying veneer today, and that's using PVA type adhesives, and PVA meaning polyvinyl acetate glues or wood glue. All wood glues, generally speaking, are PVAs with the exception of urethane type glues. The difference between the PVAs that we use for veneering and your normal yellow type glues, the yellow or acrylic glues, they have a much longer open time. And when you're doing veneering, you need to have a long open time in order to position your work correctly. When pressing veneer in this method, and you really need to use some type of a press, you can either use a vacuum press or a Platen press, or you can devise your own type of a mechanical press. With the glues, because they have a long open time, you'll apply an even coat just to the substrate. There's no adhesive required on the veneer backer itself. And when you apply the veneer adhesive, you want to have right around a 4 mil thickness of adhesive to give you a good bond. And you can get a mil gauge from a paint store, and basically what it does is a measuring device that'll allow you to see the thickness of your glue line. And if you apply too much glue, it will do two things. One, it doesn't dry in the appropriate amount of time. You get a lot of squeeze out, which will make a big mess, and you're wasting material. You don't need to overuse the adhesive. Once the two surfaces are applied together and pressure is applied, generally speaking, it's about a 2-hour window for the veneer to adhere sufficiently in a cold press. The other type of press that's used all the time is what's called a hot press. It has a large platen, both surfaces, but it's heated. And basically the platens are like large radiators. And when you're applying veneer, you only need to heat to about 140 degrees Fahrenheit to set the glue. And the other methods that you can do in-house is using an iron. Basically, you'll apply your adhesive to one surface. And in this case, because we're thermally bonding it, we need to make sure that we get a good bond both of the veneer to the substrate, but the adhesives to the adhesive. So you'll apply a thin coat of adhesive onto the backer of the veneer. You'll let that dry almost completely. You want it to skin up well. And on MDF, you won't need to apply a second coat of glue, and I'll get to that. But once the glue's dried, then you can use an iron, household iron. And in this case, it has an aluminum face. They have some that have a Teflon face. With the versions of the irons that have an aluminum face, you definitely want to put something between this surface and the veneer. The metal will actually discolor the veneer surface, and basically all you really need to do is just cover it with a piece of craft paper. In this case, I have a grocery bag, and that will protect the veneer from the iron itself. The other reason to use the bag is any squeeze out of glue from any of the edges as you're ironing over won't dirty up your iron. So you want to set the iron to a medium temperature, somewhere around 140 to 160 degrees, and I think on a household iron it's wool. And then apply good firm pressure across your substrate. After going over it a few times, you should be all set to go and ready to start to finish.